Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my casual playthrough of Dark Souls. This is episode 7. It is Monday, August 10th today, on the date of recording, and I hope that each and every one of you out there is having a fantastic day today. I'm just hanging out here with the crow. We're just chilling. We're not going to be seeking the services of the crow just yet, because we are actually going to descend into the Catacombs. I'm not entirely sure what the conditions are for Patch's continuing his journey from the Catacombs into the Tomb of the Giants. It's either ringing the second bell of awakening or placing or having received the Lord Vessel. I'm not sure what it is, but I figured, just in the interest of ensuring that we get the early encounter with Patches, because if we miss it, then he will go to he will move to the Tomb of the Giants, and then we'll miss that first encounter. So, and I figured Pinwheel's not the most difficult boss in the world, so we can always take it out. I say it because, of course, it appears to be an amalgamation of people. So, though we did pick up the Divine Ember, we do not have any divine weapons. So we are going to have to rely on just taking out the... Ouch. Okay, we're going to need to heal first and foremost, actually. So we are going to depend on having to take out the pyromancers. I believe they're called pyromancers, but they're more like necromancers, I guess. They serve as very similar function to those in Dark Souls 1. Primarily the ones in the Huntsman's Copse, because I don't know if the other ones actually really resurrect any enemies. I could be completely misremembering that and already forgetting about Dark Souls 1. So we're going to poison this guy here. He's poisoned, but I was like giving a little extra shot, see if we can hit him in the head. I don't know why I enjoy that so much. That's probably not good. But yeah, while we wait for him to become deceased, I did receive a comment from James Lamont in episode 6, who writes in part that his favorite thing about Dark Souls 1 is the fact that the unique scabbards, or not, display based on the weapon you're using. Really hoping that Dark Souls 3 includes them. Didn't see any in the Gamescom footage, gameplay demo footage, though. And that is kind of disappointing, because they do look very, very cool. But at the same time, it is rather interesting that they seem to... your second weapon. So if this were Dark Souls 3, presumably my second weapon would be on my back. But I haven't... I'm trying not to look too much into the game. God, is this guy still alive? Try not to look too... like, I don't want to spoil myself, because they always tend to include one or two major set pieces or surprises in the promotional footage that they release in the lead up to the release of the game. And I really don't want to... a good example of that is in Dark Souls 2, at least in the original version, because this changed during Scholar of the First Sin, but the gigantic set of dragon bones that greet you when you enter Aldia's Keep for the first time. You no longer... it was included in the promotional materials, and so while you no longer have to avoid the trap when you enter the door into Aldia's Keep, it is still something that was in a lot of the promo footage, and so you knew what was actually going to happen. But so that at least kind of ruined it, at least for me. I did not sit at the bonfire. Fuck. By the way, that one's for you, Nick Darboozy. We're not going to be messing around with these guys anymore. We will later come back and explore a fair bit. Always go into that corner. And I'm always going the wrong way. That's something I've done since, I think, the first or second or third time I've come to the Catacombs. And it has not changed in any time, any of my subsequent attempts at running through this area. You know what works just as well as it always has, though? Backstabs and jumping attacks. Although I don't think the longsword is really the best weapon for this area. Alright, but yeah, as I alluded to prior to the fast forward there, I received a comment on episode 5 from Nick Darboozy, who writes in part, how come you never curse or swear or use any foul language in your videos? I always wondered why some YouTubers did that. I feel like YouTube is the perfect medium to use any type of language you want, so why censor yourself? So to that, for starters, I would say that, you know, I don't believe in the slightest in censorship. And so the fact that I'm not swearing doesn't mean I'm censoring myself. It just means I'm not swearing. You mentioned that a lot of YouTubers seem to self-censor themselves. And, you know, that's fine if that's what they're actually doing. But from my perspective, I feel like, specific to the Souls games, that there are a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people who, you know, stream on Twitch and whatnot, who swear constantly and yell and get angry and rage at the game. And when I first started actually making videos for YouTube, I told myself that I wanted to make videos that I would want to watch. And while I do occasionally enjoy watching those silly videos where people, you know, laugh and speak a little bit too loud into the microphone, I do tend to prefer, I guess, more reasoned and even keel content. People who don't necessarily get too high or get too low, they have a good time, but, you know, they're not out to just shock people. And this is related to what I was discussing in, I believe it was episode 5, with respect to the sound imbalance in the volume levels being off in the Dark Souls 3 trailer, the gameplay trailer that was shown. And when I said that sound imbalances and you know, things being out of whack like that is something that really bothers me, because on my videos I'm rather meticulous about making sure that my sound is balanced properly. And so when I see some of these videos of these YouTubers who, you know, swear and rage and get really upset and stuff, the one thing that most often annoys me about it is that if say it's late at night and you know, I live on my own, so I don't really have to worry about waking anyone up, but I like to be a considerate person. I do live in an apartment building. I don't necessarily want to wake others up, people in, you know, other apartments and whatnot. So we can't sit at this bonfire. Is that because there's another enemy out here? But yeah, so I do find it rather annoying when late at night, if I'm watching a video and I hear, oh, where the heck were you hiding, buddy? and all of a sudden the tone and volume of the video changes considerably because someone started raging or yelling or doing something like that. And so I like to try and keep everything on an even keel because those are the types of videos that I like to watch. And so I guess naturally, in a way, you tend to attract people who have similar sensibilities to yourself. And we still can't sit at the bonfire. It's not like where are all you guys coming from? Oh, just coming out of the woodwork. Guess they're all still following me from... Okay, guys, come on. Everyone out. So the first part of my answer to your question, Nick, is that I wouldn't say I'm censoring myself, because I don't necessarily swear. Like, I do swear, I'm a human being, but I don't necessarily swear as often as other people do. And in a way, I want to create YouTube content. Oh, they're still assembling because of the... Oh, I'm such an idiot. Because of the pyromancer. I'm so silly. I haven't gotten caught up in that topic of discussion and not realize that they were reassembling over and over again. Hey, friend. Oh, you got nice little fire bells there. Good for you. You want to show me your back for a sec? Thank you. Damn it, really hoping for a hand lantern to drop for us. Bye-bye. I love making the skeletons just jump to their death. They're such nimrods, but I love them. So yeah, while we may not explore... Actually, first things first, we need to find a bonfire. So we may not explore the catacombs in depth today. We will be back. But I did want to get the rite of kindling to... Oh, come on, just let me use the bonfire, please. Stop being mean, skeletons. And I'm also trying to answer a question here. Okay, let's reverse our hollowing, and then I'm going to continue answering this question. So, Nick also writes that he recalls me saying that I'm a teacher, so maybe it's a habit I picked up from having to censor myself around my students too much. I am a teaching assistant at a university, and so I lead... I will be delivering 1 or 2 lectures this semester coming up, but for the most part, I just lead seminar discussions. And while the majority of my students are lower, so in the United States, I believe you'd call them freshmen or sophomore students. So first and second year university students for the most part, though there are some third and fourth years sprinkled in around there. And I have sworn occasionally during my seminars because, for the most part, people there are adults. And yeah, there is a certain amount of fakeness, which I guess is perhaps the reason why you made that comment, Nick. And I'm, I just find it interesting that you found it so interesting and unique that you had to comment on it. And that's another thing that Nick also pointed out. It said that, or maybe it's my upbringing. And I would say that maybe that's a part of it as well. We do want to kindle this bonfire as well. That's probably a part of it as well, because I do recall one thing my dad told me as I was growing up. This must have been about 12 or 13 or something. And, when you get around that age, you hear all these really cool sounding swear words, and so you just want to swear all the time. And my dad once told me, you know, it's fine if you want to swear, that's cool, but you need to understand that if you're swearing all the time, you are foregoing the use of a really powerful and impactful tool, and that is the ability to swear when no one is expecting it. And then it has a much greater impact on what it is that you're saying. So I guess to answer your question, I do swear. I don't make a point of not swearing in these videos, but when I do, you know, it's something that you're like, whoa, Aegon's pissed off, or whoa, Aegon, whatever. So yeah, that's my response to that. I'm not self-centering, but or censoring. Oh no, I think I fucked up. And I also didn't just swear there on purpose either. Oh no. I think I should have come down here before entering the Capra Demon boss room, or beating the Capra Demon. Damn it. Well, that sucks. So for anyone who's unaware, I meant to come down here and have Patches standing here. When you're approaching the bridge over there, he'll push the lever to make it seem like the bridge is in its proper position to allow you to cross. But then, of course, when you, I think, hit the midpoint of the bridge, he will pull the lever, like so. And if you're not paying attention, you will plummet to your death. And I wanted to trigger that and his subsequent dialogue, and I'm dagnabbit, I'm really disappointed that we didn't come down here sooner. Oh, silly me. Okay. Well, there's still something else we can do here. That is not all that less interesting or funny. So here we have an NPC I've taken to calling Lackadaisical Leeroy. He should require no introduction, and I'm going to let him show you what he can do, and the reason why I call him Lackadaisical Leeroy. Oh, I thought I saw a faint glimmer of him. But he appears to be gone. Oh, I'm seeing a light bar moving. So, if you're lost, what just happened there was that I summoned him before he was able to summon in the world. I dropped down to a spot where he's almost certain to fall down beneath you, and to not be able to follow you. So his AI starts fighting with itself. On the one hand, it's saying, hey, all these bone wheel skeletons are attacking you. You need to defend yourself. But on the other hand, it's saying you need to find a way to get back to your summon. Like, where is he? Let's figure it out. And so, presumably, the pathfinding just decides, okay, let's head over to that Black Knight. And then I guess he just sort of hangs out over there. And, yeah. Lackadaisical Leeroy. But it is certainly very helpful, because even though I'm reasonably certain he never finds his way to the boss room, he does save you the trouble of having to deal with any of the bone wheels in the early game. So, Leeroy, thank you for your service. Lackadaisical Leeroy, everyone. By the rite of kindling, you may now kindle beyond the normal limit. Cool. And I believe there is a 33.333, so on and so forth, % chance that we will get either the mask of the mother, the father, or the child. Mask of the child, which increases stamina regen, I believe. One of the 3 masks of the Pinwheel, the necromancer who stole the power of the Gravelord and reigns over the Catacombs. This mask, belonging to the naive child, slightly raises stamina recovery speed. Rite of Kindling. This secret rite allows bonfires to be bolstered further with kindling, so that even more Estus can be collected. Kindling was a sacred rite passed down among clerics, but all undead can imitate this process in the same manner that they restore their hallowing with humanity. How peculiar that humans had found little use for humanity until they turned undead. Alright, let's see. I think we have enough souls to... I still want to get my dexterity up. We need to get it to 18, so we're getting close. And we are going to run back to Firelink. This, by the way, is the absolute worst part of coming down here before you have the Lord Vessel. Because, of course, you don't have the ability to warp between bonfires. And that is a really interesting difference in design between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, because it changes the world in really significant ways. The fact that not only can you not warp from the start, but the fact that once you're able to warp, you're not able to warp to every bonfire. Certain bonfires are more important than others, and that really changes your thought process when trying to decide whether or not to come down to areas like this early in the game, because they can be an enormous pain to exit. So there's that. Let's see if we can't do it without messing up. Actually, do we want to visit the blacksmith down here? No, I think that can wait, at least until we get, or if we get the Chaos or Flame Embers. That R1 spam, though. Hi, friend. Just hanging out over there? This guy does not look pleased with me. Oh, he was waiting for his buddy to come and ambush me. They had a plan all along. I shouldn't have doubted them. That was really dumb. Let's try that again. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay, game, you got your wish. I will take it slow. I apologize for trying to speedrun you. I clearly am lacking the skill set in many ways to be able to do that. I don't know when to just keep going. I stop, I get overconfident, I do stupid things. When I clearly shouldn't be doing them. But that's the way it goes sometimes. This is Dark Souls! So I think I've really proved the point I was making earlier about the game really making you think long and hard about how it is that you're going to want to handle the Catacombs. That if you want to handle it early, and unless you're willing to, you know, have the patience and take the time you need to actually just take care of the enemies rather than trying to run by them, then yeah, you're going to pay the price. Or rather, you're going to pay the price if you think you're just going to run by everything. Or at least in my case, that seems to be true. Alright. Do we have an item in here? We do have a fair number of enemies, so... Is that the Lucerne? Can't seem to remember. Let's see. It is the Lucerne. Why are you still alive? Weird. Yeah, so that's a Lucerne. I've never been a big fan of polearm weapons, as I believe it once called. Halberd with a large, hard beak-like protrusion. Inflicts thrust damage. Instead of thrusting like a spear, the wielder of the Lucerne aims to break the head with its hard beak. Interesting. I'm not sure if we'll be trying that out. I think the farthest we'll be going in terms of that category is probably... either the Silver Knight Spear. Oh. That second guy just rolled right past me and fell off the edge. I love... As much as they suck when they bleed you out and kick your ass, the skeletons in this game are awesome. Probably don't want to get surrounded like that, though. Let's at least try to get on this side of them. They're so hard to parry because they spam that falchion like crazy. Such quick hits. And that's another thing that I've always found kind of interesting is how the enemy movesets don't seem to transfer over to the player. When the player is using a weapon that, say, they picked up as a drop off of an enemy, occasionally you would expect for the moveset to actually transfer over, but often they don't. And so I wonder sometimes, were all of these skeletons somehow magically skilled swords people in their past lives? I don't know. I think I'm just talking nonsense at this point, but... Because, yeah, it's been a long weekend, but a fun weekend. Went to a casino. Was among... Oh, hello. The skeleton wants to come down first. Come on. Can't lose all those souls, or all that humanity, rather. Ouch. So yeah, one thing that's rather interesting that I noticed, and I guess I was especially I found it interesting given how heavily I've used the Contra 3 soundtrack in this playthrough. And the Contra 3 The Alien Wars on the Super Nintendo being, in my opinion, one of the best games that Konami has ever produced. And today, the company appears very much to be a shadow of its former self. I have been playing a fair bit of Hardcore Uprising, which is, I guess, a spin-off of Contra that Konami made in 2010 for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And it's an excellent 2D old school style. This part I love here. You've been down in the catacombs. It's so dark. It can be very depressing, especially if, like what happened to me just now, I found myself in a situation where I was dying over and over again. When you reach this point and you see quite literally the light at the end of the tunnel, literally and figuratively, it's beautiful. Of course, you still have to make it through the graveyard before you find your way to the bonfire, but at this point you know that you're almost there. Just a little bit farther. But yeah, I was walking around, checking out some of the slot machines at the casino I was at, and I was amazed to see how many of them were made by Konami. And I don't know if that's something that they've always done, that they've always just kind of dabbled in, you know, gambling machines, I guess, or you know, casino video games. I don't know what you would properly call them, but I just thought that was really interesting. Here's this company that used to just make so many incredible games, and these games beyond the Metal Gear Solid franchise, which, as I understand it, after the upcoming or most recent one, Hideo Kojima is out of there. So what does Konami have left beyond their, I guess, core IPs that are being rehashed and converted to all sorts of different, you know, mobile platforms and things like that? What do they have left? Apparently gambling video games? It's weird. I don't know. I was actually just really surprised to see that, and maybe I've just never noticed it. I'm not a big gambler, so I don't go to the casino very often, but yeah, it was just interesting and weird. So, and especially just given how I'm doing this playthrough right now. So I just wanted to mention that. There is someone we need to talk to here. Hey, friend.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy of the Great Swamp, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. And unless you find the magic's unsavory.
So we're answering in a double negative by saying no, we do not find magic unsavory.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this. A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now. Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time. Pyromancy has a, well, rather primitive aspect to it. It meshes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavory, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing. A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. When I gave you that flame, I gave you a part of myself. Please take good care of it.
We certainly will, friend. We certainly will. It's funny that it says that the flame develops right along with someone's skill, when that's technically not true, because you just upgrade the flame with souls, it doesn't scale with anything. Don't think we're gonna buy anything from him. Might buy something a little bit later. Of course, we could upgrade our pyromancy flame, but we're not really using it for anything right now. Don't have any attunement slots. I do plan on doing a couple things with it, but not at this very moment. It's funny that, you see he's wearing a fair bit of raggedy clothes, and he's talking about how, pyromancy is considered rather unsavory, and that it's the magic of the lower class in a way. Whereas, so you look at him, he's all raggedy.
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.
You be safe too, friend. And then we go over here, and we see this douchebag who wouldn't talk to us. Because the last time we tried to talk to him, we only had 9 intelligence, but now we have 10 intelligence, so now he will chat with us with his fancy clothing.
Oh, hello. Terrific to see us both in one piece. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
So the classy magic person doesn't ask you a question that requires a double negative answer, which is interesting.
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me. Ah, yes. The note that Master Logan left. It only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the regal archives. For Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom. Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage. 2 things are required for sorcery.
Okay, so now it seems he's going to go into the more tutorial type dialogue, so we're just going to leave that for now. Oral decoy, extremely useful. We're actually going to pick that up. It's essentially, you get 20 uses of an alluring skull, and I believe it lasts longer than does an alluring skull. So yeah, we're definitely grabbing that. Magic weapon, maybe? I don't know how much attack it will add, given that our intelligence, we're not going to get a lot of, if indeed it does add anything from scaling, which I'm not sure that it does, but it wouldn't be a huge damage increase. And we're not going to be doing any, like, we may buy these spells, but I don't think we're going to be doing much casting, we're going to be casting many spells. Fall control, yeah, that's another useful one as well, so why not? He also sells the Bellowing Dragon Crest Ring, a special ring granted to only the most accomplished sorcerers at Vinheim Dragon School. The ring is engraved with an everlasting dragon and boosts the strength of sorceries. This ring is engraved with a lingering dragon and boosts the lengths of the effect. Oh, okay. Strength of sorceries and length of the effects of sorceries. Again, I guess this one's not so bad, but the line breaks sometimes confuse me while reading multiple item descriptions.
All right. That'll do it. That should help you on your journey. May we meet again.
So yeah, really interesting contrast between the 2 types of magic. And then there's faith. Which, oh, I thought you were going down to the catacombs. What happened?
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life.
He's obviously bullshitting.
Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so. Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
Yep. So, obviously there's something fishy going on there.
Oh. Hello. I'm considering a change of location. I have a rather pressing matter to attend to up above. That keeper has served me well, but enough with her.
So you can see very clearly that he's been sitting here for a very specific reason. He's been casing out the Firekeeper because he's an asshole. Oh, I could just give you one more kick and you'd be gone.
Oh. Hello. I'm considering...
Yep, so I'll deal with you later, Lautrec. Don't you worry. I thought that he was going to tell us a little something about... But yeah, I'm again not especially knowledgeable about the triggers for various dialogues. So there's going to be a lot of this in this playthrough.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miracle?
Yeah, so we may have missed it, but yeah, no big deal. That's going to do it for this episode anyway. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.